What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Fallout New Vegas build. You can head to Facebook via the description to vote for next week's build, but this week, using Facebook, you guys voted in the Radman. I'd also encourage you to follow the link in the description to our currently favorite video, The Ideal Fallout 4, and to stay tuned for more Fallout 4 deconstruction. Anyways, the Radman is all about rads, radiation. In terms of DLC, Old World Blues works in well for the character's theme. If you're capable of getting Old World Blues, please do, and also this build is recommended for normal mode, but it can work for hardcore mode decently as well. Born in a small town in the countryside of northern Mexico, the Radman lived with his grandfather as his family had died, and when he was 18, a bunch of slavers invaded the town. They shot his grandpa and kidnapped the Radman. They took him away from his simple ranch life, transporting him in cages with many others to a hidden bunker on the border of Nevada and California. It was here he was sold with the other captives to a group of scientists who had hired the slavers to do this. It's very hard to get slaves in California, so the scientists had used the slavers to source people from Mexico. No people would go missing from California, so no one would notice. The captured people from Mexico were taken deep into the scientist bunker for scientific research. They were to be exposed to radiation so that the scientists could study ghoulification. They wanted to know what caused ghoul DNA to regenerate and how they could create some sort of immortality. Test subjects were taken into heavily irradiated chambers in which they were forced to spend time. They were given food and water by the scientists who wore hazmat suits, and the scientists took blood samples every day which they would analyze. Over time, ghoulification happens on many of the subjects, but on the Radman, nothing happened at all. He just felt a bit groggy. Scientists were gobsmacked by the Radman's resistance to radiation, but couldn't find anything interesting in his blood samples. Each test subject was kept in their own small test room, and some of the ghouls had turned feral. No one is sure whether they were chewing on cables or if something else was to blame, but there was a malfunction within the bunker facility during the night, causing an emergency override of all the chambers. The doors flung open and feral ghouls poured out, rampaging through the bunker and killing many of the scientists. The Radman was able to escape and get away from the ghouls, following a scientist and choking him out when they both emerged. The ghouls were left within the bunker. The Radman traveled to Primm, which was close by, and gets a job as a courier. During this job, he was able to travel through irradiated areas to get packages delivered quicker. You know what happens from here. Starting off in the Atomic Wasteland, the Radman is going to have the following attributes: 4 Strength, 5 Perception, 10 Endurance, 5 Charisma, 6 Intelligence, 5 Agility, and 5 Luck. He was never very brawny, shown by 4 Strength, but he's always been very fit. It's surprising that he was able to choke out the scientist. With a super high pain tolerance and an endurance of 10, he's the kind of person that just won't die, almost like a zombie who's smarter than your average human and wields an energy-based gun. His decent intellect is represented with 6 intelligence, and the Radman is pretty well-rounded in everything else. When picking your tag skills at the start of the game, you're going to want to go with energy weapons, medicine, and science. These are of course your major skills, and they fit in with role-playing the character, and of course they're what you're going to be using for a lot of your main playstyle. You'll be blasting away with your gun, healing yourself up fantastically if you weren't already hard enough to kill, and hacking your way into computer terminals. The minor skills for the Radman are explosives and repair. Repair is of course a general skill you're going to be using, and explosives are a solid part of your offense. You'll be getting a perk I'll explain later, which is a Gunrunner's Arsenal perk, and it lets you use just 3 microfusion cells to create a microfusion cell grenade. The traits for the Radman are our favorite combination, Good-Natured and Skilled. Good-Natured fits in with the role-playing of the Radman as he's a pretty innocent and nice dude, and it's going to take away 5 from the offensive skills of the build and add 5 to his non-offensive skills. Then with the Skilled trait, the 5 points you lost in your offensive skills will be gained back, alongside 5 more skill points added to every skill. This gives you a total of 10 points added to the Radman's non-offensive skills, and his offensive skills are balanced and therefore neither positively nor negatively affected. Looking at an endgame Radman build, endgame being level 30, you're going to want to have the same attributes as before. That was 4 Strength, 5 Perception, 10 Endurance, 5 Charisma, 6 Intelligence, 5 Agility, and 5 Luck. However, we recommend you get every implant for this build, except the Endurance one of course. This will leave you with 5 strength, 6 perception, 10 endurance, 6 charisma, 7 intelligence, 6 agility, and 6 luck, which overall just makes the Radman better in all areas. You'll also have the subdermal armor implant, improving your damage threshold by 4, and the health regeneration implant, making you even better at surviving. It's good that you'll be having so much health and an implant to buffer your damage threshold, because your endgame armor only has a DT of 8, so you'll have a total DT of 12, which is quite decent, but nothing amazing. The bigger advantage of the advanced radiation suit is its effect, which is a massive 40% resistance to radiation. Speaking of gear, the Radman will be using the MFC grenades I mentioned earlier alongside a multi-plas rifle. The essential perks for the build are Rad Resistance, Rad Absorption, Irradiated Beauty, Lead Belly, Plasma Spaz, Meltdown, and Mad Bomber. Rad Resistance is a simple perk giving you 25% resistance to radiation, which coupled with your suit gives you a total 65% resistance. Rad Absorption is another useful perk if used correctly. Your radiation levels decrease by 1 every 20 real-world seconds, which is not that great, but if you wait 24 hours in-game, you can reduce it by 144. This can be done non-stop until you have no radiation left. Both these perks fit in with the role-playing of the build fantastically, as does the next perk, Irradiated Beauty. This means that you will lose all your rads when you sleep, in addition to gaining all your health back. In hardcore mode, however, you only lose 100 rads. Overall, remember that while there are better perks in the game, these are some of the essentials for role-playing. If you want to see all the perks we pick, you can watch the Part 2 Radman video. Anyways, moving on with more essential perks, we've got Lead Belly. This makes you take 50% less radiation from all consumables like food and even water sources. This is great for hardcore mode if you choose to play it. Plasma Spaz is the next essential, and this reduces your action point costs for all your plasma weapons, including plasma grenades if you use them, by 20%. Meltdown is another great perk when needing, and what this does is make a corona of harmful energy emit from enemies you kill with your energy weapons. My favorite thing about this is that it can cause a chain reaction of explosions that kill lots of enemies with just one blast. The final essential perk is the one from Gunrunner's arsenal, Mad Bomber. Mad Bomber gives you a bunch of unique craftable explosive recipes, but of the most use is the recipe to create microfusion cell grenades. All you need are 3 microfusion cells, as I said, and you can make a grenade. This leads you to having a massive amount of explosive ammo which you can hurl at your leisure. For the main storyline, the Radman can help any cause or faction you like, except of course for the Legion. Yes Man can be a fun choice, but then again, it's really up to you. The Radman is a good-natured person and will pick an option you decide is a good cause. Again, just not the Legion. The Radman will also strive to help the followers of the Apocalypse and get a good reputation with them. His companion choice will be Arcade Ganon, which fits in with this, and also goes well with the overall sciencey theme of the build. And that wraps up this week's Fallout New Vegas build, the Radman. Thanks for tuning in to Fudge Muppet, and remember to subscribe for more Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls 6, Skyrim, and Fallout New Vegas. All social media links are in the description, and again, follow the Facebook link if you want to vote. Also be sure to watch the Part 2 video to see the extra perks we choose, when we choose them, and how we allocate our skill points. My name is Michael, this was the Radman, and I'll see you very soon, ready to nerd out with some more Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4.